the city of Los Santos, a place where dreams die hard or get reborn in a hail of gunfire. Before the chaos, before the heists, before they became legends, they were just men. Michael, Trevor, Franklin. Each walked a different path. Each carried their own baggage. Heavy stuff. The kind that doesn't just disappear. Their pasts were a cocktail of ambition, desperation, and bad decisions. These weren't saints, far from it. They were products of their environments, forged in fires of their own making mostly. And Los Santos was the magnet pulling them in. Michael, a name he tried to bury. He was supposed to be a family man, living the dream in a Rockford Hills mansion, but ghosts don't stay buried forever, especially when you invite them in for dinner. His past was a highlight reel of violence and betrayal. He thought he had an exit plan, a clean break, but the life has a way of clinging to you, like mud or blood. He craved normalcy, or so he told himself, but the boredom was a killer, slow and insidious. Something had to give. Trevor, where do you even start? A force of nature, a hurricane in human skin. He lived on the ragged edge because anywhere else was just too damn boring. His life was a tapestry of chaos stitched together with meth and rage. Loyalty was a strange, twisted thing for him. He loved hard, hated harder. Betrayal cut him deeper than any bullet, and he remembered every single slight, every perceived wrong. He was a powder keg waiting for a spark, constantly. Franklin, young, ambitious, trapped. He grew up in the South Los Santos grind, gangbanging, repo jobs, small-time stuff. But he had a hunger, a desire for something more, something bigger. He saw the revolving door of his neighborhood, friends going in, friends not coming out. He wanted out of that cycle. He just didn't know how. He needed a mentor, an opportunity, a way to trade his beat-up buffalo for a slice of the Vinewood pie. He was looking for a way up or a way out. Before Michael DeSanta, there was Michael Townley, a professional, a top-tier bank robber. He wasn't a mindless thug. He was smart, calculated. He ran a tight crew. They pulled scores that made headlines, small towns mostly, places where security was lax, and people were trusting, too trusting. He had a knack for planning, an eye for detail. He was good at what he did, maybe too good. That kind of talent attracts attention, the wrong kind, always. The infamous North Yankton job, Ludendorff, winter of 2004. It was supposed to be their last big score, one final payday, then ride off into the sunset. Or at least, that was Michael's plan. But things went sideways. Fast. Snow, bullets, and betrayal painted the town red. Brad was down. Trevor lost it. And Michael? Michael saw an opening, a desperate, dangerous way out. He took it. He had to, or so he convinced himself. This was his one shot at a different life. The deal was struck, with Dave Norton, a Fed with his own ambitions. Michael Townley would die in the snow, and Michael DeSanta would be born. Witness protection, a fat bank account, a new identity, a chance to raise a family, to be normal. He moved to Los Santos, bought a big house, tried to play the part of the retired businessman. He thought he could leave the past behind him, locked away like old evidence. He was wrong, terribly wrong. Life in the sun-drenched prison of Rockford Hills wasn't the paradise he imagined. His wife, Amanda, spent his money and her time with anyone but him. His kids, Tracy and Jimmy, were spoiled, lazy, and disrespectful. They were strangers living under his roof. The American dream felt more like a recurring nightmare. He was bored, restless. The old urges started to creep back. The quiet life was a lie, and the ghost of Michael Townley was getting restless. He needed the action. He missed the thrill. Trevor Phillips, born on the wrong side of the Canadian border, and probably on the wrong side of sanity. His childhood was a horror show, a revolving door of abusive stepfathers, and a mother who was unique. Let's just say maternal warmth wasn't her strong suit. He learned early that the world was a cruel place. So he decided to be crueler. It was a survival tactic, one that stuck. He was a feral dog, untamed, unpredictable, even as a kid. He tried going straight, once, sort of. Joined the Canadian Air Force. He was a hell of a pilot, nerves of steel, a natural talent. But rules and Trevor Phillips, they didn't mix, like oil and napalm. His psychological evaluation probably read like a Stephen King novel. He was grounded, dishonorably discharged. The military's loss was the criminal underworld's gain, or maybe its curse. He drifted south, looking for something, or someone, to unleash himself upon. Then he met Michael Townley, sometime in the 90s. Two sides of a very bent coin. Michael was the planner, Trevor was the muscle, the chaos. They were an odd pair, but they clicked. They pulled jobs together, stick-ups, robberies. They were good, for a while. Trevor found something in Michael, a brother, a partner, someone who almost understood him, or at least tolerated his particular brand of crazy. He was loyal to Michael, in his own destructive way. Before North Yankton, Trevor was already building his empire of dirt, Trevor Phillips Industries, or Enterprises as he'd later call it, gun running, smuggling, cooking meth in some backwoods lab. He was always an entrepreneur of the illegal. The North Yankton disaster shattered him. He believed Michael was dead, betrayed by Brad, or so he thought. The loss, the perceived betrayal, it festered. For years, he moved to Sandy Shores, a fitting hellscape for a man like him, waiting, simmering. Franklin Clinton grew up hard in South Los Santos. Strawberry, Forum Drive, places where opportunity knocked softly, if at all. But trouble? Trouble had a megaphone. Gangbanging was a way of life. The families, the balas, green versus purple. It was the air he breathed. He lost friends. He lost family. He saw the dead ends all around him. He was smart, though. Smarter than most of the bangers he ran with. He knew this wasn't it. This couldn't be all there was. He tried to make a life, or at least a living. Boosted cars. Ran errands for local shot callers. Eventually, he fell in with Lamar Davis, his best friend, his partner in petty crime. They worked for Simeon Yetarian, repo man, scammer, exploiter of the desperate. Franklin had skills behind the wheel. He could drive anything and drive it well. But repossessing cars for a slimeball like Simeon, it paid the bills. Barely. It wasn't the dream. It was just another hustle, another dead-end street. He lived with his Aunt Denise in her small house after his mother passed. Denise was a character. New Age spiritualism mixed with old-fashioned nagging. She didn't understand him, his ambitions, his frustrations. Their house was a constant reminder of what he was trying to escape. The poverty, the lack of prospects. He wanted financial freedom, respect. He saw the big houses in Vinewood, the fancy cars. He wanted a piece of that, a big piece. But the path there was unclear. Franklin was looking for a mentor, someone to show him the ropes of a bigger game. He was tired of the small scores, the constant risk for minimal reward. He had potential. He knew it. Lamar was his boy, but Lamar was content with the street life. Franklin yearned for more. He was observant. He listened. He learned. He was waiting for his shot, his break. Little did he know that break would come in the form of a washed-up ex-bank robber and a maniacal meth head. Their worlds were about to collide, spectacularly.